What's going on, guys? Good morning. Taking a look here at the markets. It's the 30th of June, 4 a.m. Looking at SPX. S&P 500 index had a pretty good pullback the past 2 days, and it looks like today we are moving off the lows for the futures, but depending on how high they go between now and the 9:30 Eastern open, we'll probably be down again this morning, potential gap down. So what are we looking at here? So this is a daily of the S&P 500, and we did something interesting yesterday. Yesterday, we filled the gap that was created to the upside right in here and created a doji. So I was relieved when that gap was filled, and then we started to move off those lows yesterday. I had mentioned a couple of days ago that this gap is a thing of concern, especially gaps below the market that really aren't that far away. The chances of a pullback coming are pretty high. Not always, but sometimes you get the breakaway gap and it doesn't get filled, but there is a gap. There was a gap, I should say, and it did get filled between Friday, the 24th and the 23rd. So that's good. Not so good so far as we're down here at the 37.7 area, basically right here. That would create a gap down, but the markets are bouncing. The futures markets are bouncing this morning off of that level. That's an important level, 77, and we could be up in the green by the morning. We will see. They have to go up basically 40 points from where they're at now to get back to zero and then move higher from there. So I just wanted to share that with you, that we did fill that gap, and we are lower right now, but we will have to see what happens. There might be another lower gap right here. Let's see, 37.15, 31, and a high of... So there is a little gap down in here. I don't think that is going to matter too much. On the positive side here for the markets, we have a gap above the market that is open, and that will get filled at some point. So just from where we're at now at 38.18, yesterday's close, all the way up into here, this low, that puts you at 4,017. So that is a very big rally that I believe sooner than later will take place, and that gap will get filled. So if that does not get you excited that you can buy down in here and the price will be all the way up in here to fill that gap, that is very, very exciting there for investors. So that's the SPX. Let's take a look at the TQQQs, and we got similar things taking place here. So we had an open gap in the TQQQs in the same day. I mentioned that. Looks like we still have a little open gap down in here between the in that $23 range, but above the market in the TQQQs, which is the Ultra 3X QQQ. We have a gap up in here, basically $30, and then when things start to get really exciting is we have a gap up in here in the 50 and basically high 50s. Patience. Markets don't always do what they did in 2020 when they don't always V-bottom out of there. I mean, looking back, it might look like a V-bottom, but living it day to day can be a grind, basically. You know, sometimes the markets, do their stair stepping down, and then, you're high or low, and then they can grind higher. So we'll see what happens. It seems like we are definitely in that stage of the game here. Closer to a bottom than not, of course, my opinion. If we take a look over at market sentiment, so we're looking at right here, this is the bulls, bears, this is the investors intelligence readings. This week, still good. We have been in, let's see, it must be at least 8, probably 10 weeks of oversold numbers here from the investors intelligence. 32.9 bulls, 40 bears. There has been a ton of bears over, like I said, at least the past 8 to 10 weeks, with last week's reading being the most bears we have seen in a very, very long time. So keep that in mind as these markets provide lots of opportunity to get in at these incredibly low prices. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. We filled the gap in SPX. We filled the gap in the TQQQs. Small gap below the market in the SPX, very minimal, although it is a gap. And then another small gap below the market right here in the TQQQs. And above the market is where things get exciting. The TQQQs has 3 open gaps. And right now we're sitting at like 24 and 80 cents or so. Yesterday's close. And then we have open gaps all the way up into the mid 50s. CNN Fear and Greed Index still sitting in fear in the mid 20s as of yesterday. So as people are calling for all kinds of fear and negative things in the markets, keep in mind that the sentiment is telling us that we are in a unique opportunity to be getting in the market at these low prices. And at some point we will be much, much higher. Might be hard to believe, but it's the way it works. Same thing with if we look over at, so we're getting some nice red in the crypto markets once again, down a couple percent, at least for Bitcoin, Casper, XRP, XLM. Can you believe XLM? 10 cents. Wow, incredible. Take a look at that real quick. Incredible here. 10 cents for XLM. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts on the stock market, the S&P 500, down in the video comments. Share this with your friends. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you are not yet joined to the channel. Check out our community tab. I post some things that come to mind and some other ideas over there. Different polls and whatnot. All right, guys, take care. I'll catch you in the next video.